Excellent. So we've had three people talking to us, Nicholas, Andy, and Martin, about the digital humanities. And Axel and Arthur, I know, have got special knowledge about context, which is an alternative to LaTeX, to rendering the PDF, to producing the PDF. So please, would you talk about that? You decide who goes first and the scope as well. Maybe Arthur first.
Okay, so yes, as Jonathan mentioned, I'm mostly a context user these days. I forgot to mention it. Context is also used by some people in the humanities, especially for processing XML. In my case, it's mostly hobby projects for small documents where I need a dual output for some reason. And in that case, I write an XML. Usually I make up my own schema in my head. I don't actually bother to write a DTD because I don't know how to do that. I'm just not very good at it. So I have a conceptual DTD in my head. I start writing the document and I write a small XSLT file to process it into HTML. And actually with context, you can have a processing step, which is in spirit, very similar to XSLT. That is, you can have some kind of declarative approach to saying, you match such and such an element, all these XPaths, etc. So you end up with a text file that is processed by context, but that actually looks very, very similar in syntax to an XSLT file. And that produces the PDF file for you.
Excellent. You're finished, Arthur. Yes. So Axel.
Well, you have me?
Yeah.
Fine. My use is rather mundane. I have working instructions that are related to each other. And instead of collecting all the information by hand and editing a lot of documents, I thought, well, that's something a computer can do better. Normally, I write programs in Python and generate my LaTeX code. But for this project, I thought, why not try context? It has a LuaTeX interpreter, so I can Lua as a programming language. And I read several documents, take information from one document, insert it in another document, and then print it. I usually get a good quality because it's a tech engine that does the printing. And I was surprised how little work it took to get at least the proof of concept working. The main problem is that there are not many documents, and this requires a lot of requests on the mailing list. But I usually get quick answers that help me to go forth.
Thank you very much, Axel.